So I started out wrestling, youth wrestling programs. I was pretty good right away. My dad was a collegiate athlete as well. And then my parents got divorced, so it kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything, and I didn't wrestle again until high school. So when I did go back and start competing again in wrestling and football, I was a junior by the time I got back in, and so I put a lot of pressure on myself as an athlete to perform well. My father was, like I said, collegiate athlete, wrestled in college for University of Iowa, which is about as good as it gets. So I put that pressure on myself, and I let that kind of ruin my wrestling career by not enjoying it, by putting too much pressure on myself, and then failing and not making it to where I wanted to, So I lived with that for quite a few years after high school until I found martial arts. I was about 21. I was kind of up to no good working, alcohol, stuff like that. And I found martial arts, and it really kind of brought me back down to earth, and started this journey that I'm on now. I'm almost 37 now. I've been doing mixed martial arts for quite a long time. Mental preparation is so important when it comes to competition, because everybody's physically strong and athletic and in good shape. So it comes down to who's mentally stronger a lot of times in wrestling or in boxing or any kind of one-on-one combat sport. I really feel the mental strength is huge. So I've been through a lot of issues, a lot of injuries, double ACL surgery. I thought my career was over at one point. I didn't compete for 22 months. A lot of people wrote me off, and I was able to, come back and continue to compete at the highest level in the UFC, which is, the Super Bowl, the NBA of our sport. It's the top league. So, to do that, I think it was 2009, and I've been able to come back and compete another 8 years. I'm going to try to keep going a few more years till 40. That's my goal. There's some days where I have tough training, and I'm at home thinking, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm sore, I'm tired, hurting, so mentally I have to muster up and fight through it. Like even this morning, I was not feeling it. Fighting through those negative thoughts and those negative emotions. Everybody gets those emotions where you tell yourself, I don't know why I do this. Why do I put myself through this? I'm just gonna get a regular job, it's so much easier. But it's worth it, at the end, the end goal, it's worth it. It's worth the struggle, it's worth all the mental torture, getting your hand raised and hearing the crowd scream your name, or just the feeling of accomplishing something amazing, whatever sport it is. You go and win a big tournament or you win a big game, there's no better feeling, and every athlete knows that rush, that emotion. It almost gives me jitters or brings tears to my eyes thinking about it, because it's so intense and so emotional, and that's why athletes do it. That's why we continue to compete. A lot of athletes struggle with different issues, mental health issues during and after their career. Young athletes and old athletes like myself. The pressure you put on yourself, what people expect of you, what maybe the fans expect of you or your family, and you got to kind of harness all that and figure out how to do it. There's a part of me that's learned how to do it scared. Every time I walk to the cage, there's a fear. And the fear can drive you or it can break you. We all need help as athletes. We do not do this by ourselves. It's why we have coaches. It's why we have, our support system. I compete by myself one-on-one in the ring, but there's a whole team of people behind me to help me get there, mentally and physically. There's no way I could do it without them. So. What's up, guys? I'm Ed Short Fuse Herman. I compete in the UFC, the highest level of mixed martial arts, and I quit fear.